Hello everyone and welcome back to Not a Hard Time Podcast, episode 25, the 25th episode of this great show that we've started in the start of March. It's 25. We have to get to this point, but we are. So before we get into it, you'll notice straight away there's only two of us here. Well, one of us decided to go on holiday because he thought September was a good time to go to Cyprus. Lucky bastard, but hey, we'll allow it. For 1 week, it's fine. How are you doing, Danny? How are you doing, my friend?
I'm not bad, thanks, mate. How are you?
Always good, mate. Always good. Big up Caribbean Racers. Always in the streams. I know, mate. I need to actually make sure to mod you. I will do. Been a busy week for me, but I'll let you know. I will definitely get us sorted. But on to the games. It's been the end of 3 games now into England. Just honestly, can't just have a break from England for a bit.
It's too soon for international breaks, isn't it?
3 games is
don't
enough.
Need it so soon.
We really don't. I just think, oh man, I just got back into it as well. But oh well, it's what it is. But it's been a good start. I mean, are we top or Liverpool second? Sorry, or Liverpool top?
Oh, we're top on goal difference because Haaland scored more than any other team.
7 goals, yeah. Again, we'll get on them in a bit, but honestly, it's been a good start. But I think, like I think you and me, bro, I think they're on the same wavelength. Alex is at times, but yeah, it's Alex. But
that's a whole other topic.
Yeah, exactly. Sorry, well, I'm not sorry. I'm not gonna lie. Being real though, it's been a good start, but I'm not getting carried away. No way.
No, of course not. It's only been 3 games. You can't get carried away over anything. Anything can happen in the next 35 games.
Exactly. But I'm pleased to see us doing well, scoring goals. I mean, I was there on Saturday. I got a chance to go to the game. Cheers to the guy getting the ticket. Really appreciate that, mate. Always appreciated. It was good. It was. Do you know what? I've never been to West Ham's ground before. It's massive. It is a huge stadium. I didn't realize how big it was. It's like an arena. Like most stadiums, you think, all right, they're big, but it's a massive stadium. I couldn't believe it. I was like, bloody hell.
You're miles away from the pitch, though, when you're inside.
You are. Where I was sat in the front, so I shot a really good view of the actual goals of the goals and that going anyway. But yeah, it's a whole different experience to other grounds you go to now, obviously. But obviously got the win. I said 3-1. I think in the predictions, I think earlier on.
Yeah, I think I said 3-1 as well.
I just thought we'd have enough to go. I mean, later on, the only thing I'd say about the game was the goal we conceded, but the goal we conceded was just one of the goals that you can't avoid. I can't give the answer I do for that. Trying to block it, but it just hit his chest. It is what it is. I'm just a bit covered that we're going at 3-0. The clean sheet's great and all, but Liverpool are looking good right now. Obviously, for the defence right now, they're playing very well. So I want to try and get us back.
Liverpool are the only threat, I think, for now.
And we'll get on to that later on. We'll get on to Liverpool.
I'd say they actually look better without Klopp.
Because Slot's a good. Because I tell people about Slot, he's a good manager. A lot of people don't actually understand. Arne Slot's a good manager. Did well at AZ Alkmaar, did well at Feyenoord. Just because they're not big teams, he got Feyenoord to a title against Ajax and PSV a couple years ago. He's a good manager, man. I think he's got the mentality as well of a manager who knows what he wants. Who knows what he wants for his team. So I'm not surprised at all that Liverpool playing well. I mean, Luis Diaz has been great, even probably the best player so far. Even Salah have been quality, and Jota have been quality. So
he's just inevitable. He's on the same level as Haaland, isn't he? No.
Yep. Salah and De Bruyne will sign new deals. They ain't going anywhere anytime soon. They're more left than them still, definitely.
Oh, Liverpool would be stupid not to sign up Salah for another year or two. If not, we should put in a cheeky bid for him.
Oh, we should, shouldn't we? It's what I mean. We're already sprinting, but the thing is with me, right? I'm getting carried away. As much as I'm happy to get 3 wins out of 3. Beat Chelsea 2-0 away from home, great result. Ipswich 4-1, perfect. We got a 4-1 win. Away to West Ham 3-1. I'd say the best team on the part. I mean, West Ham actually did pretty well second half, but I thought we had enough in the tank to get over the line. But we need to talk about a few things because we can't just pretend that everything's fine, everything's rosy in the garden. It's not. There are things to work on, as it always should be. I mean, Pep was doing the exact same thing. I know he's obviously pumped about how we're playing right now, but next window of games is big. It's not going to be easy. Brentford and Arsenal coming up at home. Brentford are playing well so far. Playing pretty well.
Yeah. They're not missing Tony, are they?
No, and he's got that Ali now. So,
and they didn't miss him last season either. He didn't play for the majority of last season.
I just think he's not the same player he was a couple of years ago, mate. He's not a bad player, Tony, but he ain't the same player he was a couple of years ago. Him being out for a year kind of affected them, I think. Big up, Jack.
On it.
Yeah, well, we probably did, didn't he? Hi, Jamaica. Good to see you for the game. How good recap. Honestly, Jack, he's unbelievable. Like, obviously, I wasn't sat with you at the game, but obviously, I met you and Harry and all that beforehand, before the game. It was good to meet you, a lot of you, obviously at the game beforehand, but it was really good. Rico Lewis, sure. Before we get on to, Haaland and big players, Rico deserves a shout. Because I tell you, he's coming to this team this season, right? Without certain players in the lineup, obviously, with the Euros, I think that's a disgrace now. Because how is Adam Wharton getting picked for the Euros ahead of Rico Lewis when Rico's been playing better quality of football for longer than he has? I never understood that at all. Like, I'm not saying he should have started the Euros, but Rico should be in the squad.
Oh, he should have been 100%, and he completely deserves his place in the squad now. And absolutely, he should never be left out of the England squad again.
PK, I'll mention the modules, but Meg, I know you're a mod as well on the channel as well. But big up to you, my friend. It's good to see you in the chat. Oh yeah, yeah. Honestly, they are shit. But we all know that anyway. The thing is, I'm not even surprised that they lost.
They're not just shit, but they're shitter than shit. They look
worse than last year. They're actually getting worse than last season. Like people, I said before, right? As soon as they announced that Ten Hag was going to stay, I think they're fucked. Because the Ineos should have known that he was shit and got rid of him somehow. If they had mentality,
regardless of the FA Cup result, they should have just let him go because it wasn't going to get better.
No, because I think everyone can admit as well we were shit. I mean, we were terrible in the final. We were all three of us were there.
Yeah, that's the only reason they won it, because our players weren't as interested, really, were they?
No,
it wasn't a great FA Cup final. I've been to better finals.
Yeah, I mean it was terrible, but I mean, for me, I'm just like, I'm not surprised at lost three. Liverpool are a way better team, a better club right now. They've got a whole different mentality, a better Dutch manager. That manager Ten Hag always has been, but people don't want to admit that right now. Liverpool for me won't win the league, but they'll definitely push towards a top 2 finish because everyone thought Arsenal would do it. Now, again, 3 games in the season, Arsenal aren't done yet. No one's done yet. It's 3 games in. Can't just anything right now. But Liverpool have shown me enough already, defensively as well. Midfield looks very good. Attack. It's a much more solid system that works better under Arne Slot than did on the Klopp. I think they've got definitely a very good system and very good style of play, which suits Liverpool a lot more now.
They're a bit more laid back, aren't they? Like with Klopp, it was too rock and roll football. It was too high tempo, high press, and they were knackered, weren't they?
Oh, they were. Yeah, but I think this suits them a lot more now. Mane, Firmino, and Salah, it worked because they had the pressing. And that's one for me. That Liverpool team were one of the best teams I've seen in recent years, apart from us. Like they played some great football. They beat us a few times, didn't they? In the past, always to beat us like 3-1 or 4-1. That so, I think for me personally, Liverpool will definitely be up there. I reckon next year they'll be there. A couple more signings in.
I'd argue that City Liverpool in the last few years is the biggest rivalry in Premier League history.
Yeah,
they can force United, Liverpool, United, Arsenal as much as they want, but neither of those teams were competing for titles as often as City and Liverpool were. Like we were head to head a regular basis for about 5 years.
Absolutely.
Never been that close. They have to give respect to Liverpool for that. They weren't good enough, were they?
No, they weren't. Absolutely not. I mean, I said, okay, here, Rico Lewis, do you know what he is? This is a good point because I kept saying for a while, and I think people trying to argue that he can't defend, but I thought Jeremy Frimpong was the player that City would get in. I think they still will get him anyway, because I think to have that depth anyway there, it's good. Like, I think Frimpong should be the fullback anyway. Rico's much better in the midfield as it is. I think I'd rather have him floating around the midfield than him at right back, but I kind of get, it's different, but I just think with Rico for me at the moment, he should be starting every game. I don't think because I watched Walker come on, he was shit. He was terrible. I'm sorry. I got a weird look from someone else. I thought, I don't really care. At the end of the day, right? It's my opinion. You can't, it is what it is. But Carl came on, looked exactly the same as he did last year. No focus. We're lucky he wasn't 3-2 at the end of the game. It wasn't for Edison. I think for me, Rico Lewis has proven enough within himself now to be a starter in this team.
Yeah, I completely agree. I've always been critical of Lewis physically and defensively, but on the ball, he looks so sure of himself. His passing, his moves, is brilliant, and he's getting stronger as well. He's timing his tackles really well. He's getting stuck in. He wins the fouls. His overall play is just brilliant. You can't drop him playing like this at the moment.
You can't. You absolutely can't. I mean, yeah, City Paul. I think it is getting back there again, but I think we need a bit more proof before we can decide for that because it's free game. Free games is nothing at all.
You can't predict anything after 3 games, especially with another international break.
Because I'll give you an example.
How many players could get injured in the international break? You don't know. Anything
exactly. I mean, look at the bottom right. Obviously, you got Southampton down there, but the thing is, if you actually watch the games they played, apart from maybe Brentford, they haven't been terrible at all. It's just can't really score goals. If they can get goals in their team and defend them a bit better, especially if Ramsdale goal, they'll be all right. It's free games into a season under a lot of different teams. Obviously, Ipswich obviously point a weekend as well as Fulham. Everyone's still figuring out the best team. So are we. So give it a few more games. I think November time we'll start getting a real idea of where everyone's at. Because right now we're still early days. We've got another break to come up with. No one really cares about England anyway. Everyone's done with England now at this point. I think me are done with it. So is Alex. We're all just done with it now. Just until the FA shows some balls and mentality, I'm not bothered anymore. Because all you're doing is wasting our time in watching England now. So sounds a bit miserable, but I can't bother with it anymore.
And it's just a friendly, isn't it? England. Is it a friendly against Ireland?
Finland. Look, if we win both, I don't really care anyway. Like, we should win them anyway, comfortably. So, no arrogance, it's truth.
with the squad that we have for England, we shouldn't really struggle against the majority of teams. Like, not being arrogant, but if you look at the squad on paper, we should be winning trophies, but we just don't have the management.
No, we don't. A big up as always. Good to see you in the chat, my friend. Joe, what I think he'll be mate. He'll be a midfielder. I think for England especially. I think the World Cup will actually be quite an interesting team because I think by that point you'll have. I think John Stones will come to an end now. So the only game he's playing for. I think that World Cup will be his last tournament for England. To me personally, maybe one more Euros probably as well, but it depends obviously on his fitness, obviously, and how it holds up. I think Howard Best will probably get that team at some point. But obviously coming through to always get better. It's not back if in England at some point. It'd be a much younger team with like Bellingham, Foden, and that being the more experienced players, which is quite mad right now. But it is a very young team coming through. It's good to see actually. It's good to see some young players coming through the England team. But the issue with both as well is that we just don't care until we see a better mentality change from the FA. That's that simple.
I agree with that. And I do agree that Rico would be a good midfielder as well. I can see him being like a Kovacic type player or filling in midfield like Phillips did for England,
Mm.
doing like the hard box to box stuff, not necessarily holding or an out and out right back, but just everywhere really. He can do a good job. He needs to finish. He needs to get better at finishing.
Oh, he does, but he'll get there. It's practice. He will definitely get. I'm actually he's working at training probably going forward. I can see him scoring a few goals like this year. Towards the end of the season, he'll score a few goals definitely. He's getting better at it though, but bit more composure. He'll get there definitely.
I think he just needs to be a bit more patient in front of goal.
He does.
He
Yeah,
sort of
yeah.
gets a bit too carried away, doesn't he? He kicks it too hard or too high. Just be a bit more relaxed. Just place it. You don't have to boost it.
Yeah, exactly. Evening time, mate. All good to have you in the comments, my friend. Yeah, tomorrow night, me, Harry, Tone's going to have a discussion show tomorrow about transfer window, that kind of stuff, a proper review of it all, because it's over now, finally. All the bloody rumours are bloody done with now for another year. Because January, no one cares about January. I'm not, because probably one young signing, like a young wonder kid. We were anyway, so I don't really care until like at least summer now. I mean, obviously like a lot of rumors start coming about Musiala probably at some point, but until then, I'm just gonna just carry on about football now. I mean, thank God it's over. No more Romano and Ornstein updates now about Raheem Arsenal, mate. Oh, it's been a fucking terrible. To the windows, it's been quite poor, I'd say. Quite poor.
It has been a quiet transfer window this summer. Not a lot of big moves. The only big move was probably Mbappe, but we all knew about that before the window even.
That was like 2 years ago, mate, or 3 years ago. No, that kind of moved died of hype years ago. No one cares about it. Like he should have gone then, really, shouldn't he? He should have gone like a couple years ago. Nobody still had PSG for 2 years.
Yeah, he shouldn't have stayed at PSG. That potentially ruined his career.
Yeah. Right, let's talk about Haaland, shall we? Because I think let's about a quarter of an hour now. Let's give Haaland a lovely chat about Haaland. I mean, he was brilliant, wasn't he? He's absolutely
incredible. He's in the best form I've ever seen him so far.
It's crazy because remember his start first year.
And that's saying something. Like he's been incredible for 2 seasons, but the start to this year has been fantastic. He's so on it. His overall play has improved massively. He looks happy. He looks healthy. You can tell he was playing with a slight injury last season, and that's gone now. And his finishing is top notch. His decision making is top notch. He's involved in the build up. He's just a force of nature. He's incredible.
Oh, it is. I mean, yeah, his software is work, mate. His software updates are going off like power, mate. Honestly, Haaland S at 25 now. Like he's just on another update. I mean, if you watch the well, right, the way he controls the ball now as well is so much better. Like his first year, you could tell the touch wasn't quite there. He was just tapping goals, and that's fine because he's a striker. No one cares necessarily about what he does outside the box. Just get in the box, get the goal, get it goes ahead. But I'm watching him more and more. His build-up play is getting better. He's actually getting better at all the skills, and that's scary because I think I've always said before about Haaland, especially in the big games, he's got to start attacking the defenders more. So, like Saliba, Gabriel, Rudiger, Militao, these players he played in the past that he never got around because he just kept backing off or trying to late runs. He needs to start pressing them from the front because I tell you, right, I don't care how Arsenal fans try and frame the two centre backs, right? Saliba and Gabriel have got no chance if Haaland puts all the amount of pressure he does on the player. Like, yeah, Mavropanos and Kilman, like 6'5" defenders on toast. Like he can Saliba and Gabriel. I don't know how good they are. When they've got someone like that who's constantly moving around, they've got to watch him while other players around him. If he's on it, everyone's on it. Arsenal have no chance against us. I don't care if Arsenal fans find this and get annoyed with me for saying that. It's true because watching them against Brighton, they looked way off it. Even with Rice on the pitch, they looked way off it. Rice being off it, all right, it made him worse, but they've been terrible anyway.
I think they panicked too much when Rice went off, didn't they? They just went right. let's just close up now. Let's not risk losing the point. But if that was City, if we lost Rodri, we'd still be going for it, wouldn't we?
Well, Forest, no.
Like, you
For
don't just
example,
stop playing when you've got all that time left to play, because you could still risk losing it anyway.
exactly. And I'm just, I think look, the best player for me so far has been Haaland. But I think Rico and Kovacic have a conversation to be in that conversation because they've both been quality so far. I mean, I'm not saying that De Bruyne and now have been good. And De Bruyne's been like under the radar when you actually watch him. But I watched him on Saturday. His movement off the ball and the way he sort of gets on the ball, sort of gets the crossing. I mean, look, corners are still shit. That's something we're going to work on. I'm like, for God's sake, we've got Ruben Diaz in the box. We can't get a corner right. What's going on?
That's
I don't
nothing
understand
new.
this.
We haven't had a corner right for the last 30 years. It's nothing.
Like, but you understand, we've got Ruben Diaz, Rodri, Gvardiol, we got fucking Haaland. Like, why can't I look? Corner should be a bread and butter thing for us at this point. I know it's Pep,
It should,
but still.
but if you look back at how many decent players we've had in the past, like David Silva, De Bruyne, none of them have been able to take corners consistently.
First bloody man every time. No, straight away. Is it going in? I'm not watching. I don't really care.
But that corner that De Bruyne took the other day, and he almost caught Areola out, that would have been
that shot, snapshot, mate. People were saying that. We should let him go. Or something. Like, no, like he's still got it. Like, yes, injuries can be a concern.
On absolutely no basis should we get rid of De Bruyne. There's no need, and he's always going to be talented. Just play him deeper.
Well, even David Silva was still fine. I know David Silva was getting older, but I'd say he was still fine. He played for us for another season or so.
Silva would have easily played another year or two if he was in the position to do so. He wanted to go home for his family as well, didn't he? So you can't hold that against him.
No, but I mean, as I said before, I mean, as I said to everyone before, like people will absolutely regret not appreciating Silva and De Bruyne both together at the same time, because it doesn't matter. Look, we've opinions who's better and who's whatever, but both are just unbelievable footballers that I think we'll never ever see again in our lifetimes at City. Like even Musiala and Foden, how good they. If you get with Musiala, and then we get Foden as well in there. They're both great players themselves, but what Kev and David Silva have done right, that obviously started in 2010, 2010 going forward, and then Kev obviously 2015-16. The level they showed is ridiculous. Like, I know obviously that De Bruyne's obviously done so much more in terms of awards, and obviously deserves them, rightfully so. The awards he's won, the back-to-back Player of the Year awards that he's won, rightfully so. Best player I think this league's had. Midfield players probably for a long time. I'd say ever, because people say about Lampard, Gerrard, Scholes, mate. What can they do that he can't do? As I said before about
he's better than all three of them. Easily.
Because nostalgia, you can't say that.
Yeah, that's the only reason people still hold on to Lampard, Gerrard, Scholes, Keane. It's just nostalgia. But when you look at the current players, they're so much better. They're so many levels above now.
Absolutely, yeah. And thing is, sadly, De Bruyne will get his flowers a lot more when he leaves, and that's what I hate about it. He should be getting his flowers.
The same thing happened with Aguero. Aguero only got the respect he deserved after he retired. But people forget how good Aguero actually was.
Like, if you want an idea of how good Bruyne is, right, look at the young players coming through now for England. Saka looks, I said before about De Bruyne, how much he gets a lot from De Bruyne's game. As well, like obviously phones took from both Silva and De Bruyne, so it's a bit different there. But certain players like Eze and that, have all grown up, watching De Bruyne and that, and Silva and all that play, and it doesn't matter what certain Rebel fans will say, it's the truth. These players inspire them. Like Kevin De Bruyne will be a player that even my own kids probably, we've probably retired at that point. We'll look back and say, "Wow, he was so good." I'll tell them exactly how he was, because I mean, sadly, in the next 10 years or so, we've been holding for a story at that point. But when you just look back at his legacy, Silver's legacy, Toure, different story, but Toure was still an unbelievable player in his time as well. The legacy will live on, but it's a shame that they don't get the flowers when they get them. That's what annoys me about football. Like they should get the flowers straight away.
And you have to play for certain teams who play in red to actually get respect as well.
Like, AK, it's the truth. Like I can tell you right now, if Arsenal and Liverpool don't win the league, they'll revert back. And the thing is, I guarantee you, if we get towards winning the league title, they will. Them clubs will try and force Premier League or lose to announce the national trial, to announce the result of it, because the thing is, they're desperate for us to like lose it. If we win it, right? Look, I want to say win it. I don't mean like obviously. I reckon at some point we'll have something like out of it to like fun, but I doubt we'll get anything unless there's like an actual rules against us though. And when that happens, it'll be a big reality check for these people.
I don't think they're going to strip us of titles. I don't even think we're going to be deemed guilty. There's not enough evidence of that, regardless of what these Twitter experts tell you, because nobody knows what the charges actually are. In fact, there's only 3 charges multiple times, and it's nothing to do with Pep. It's nothing to do with the players. It doesn't affect the quality of football we've seen over the last few years. Simply, these teams just haven't been better than us.
Nope.
That's the only thing that they can pull out of the bag because they're desperate.
See, Rodri for me, people say about Rodri being the best facility, and you know what? I understand it. I think for me with like obviously people will say that Rodri was like our best player obviously for the last few years, and I argue say you got a point, but for me with Rodri, he kind of got like on fire the last 2 years. So that treble season was like a breakout like big year for him. You know what I mean? That's what I thought was like. I mean, obviously he was good before that, but that treble winning season was where he really sort of blew up as a player. And the year after that, he sort of kicked on into gear. And I think he deserves respect, but I think he does it again this year and next year. I reckon he'll definitely get the conversation. But I think it's all about, I mean, for me, it's about longevity. I'm just wanting to see you've got to start doing it a lot longer than that to get that kind of appreciation that obviously you deserve. I think he'll get that. I think he's one of the best players to turn himself a player ever. Like he's that good of a player of an all-round game. But probably when you say that, it sounds delusional, but not because people don't want to accept that that's actually a fact. So you're right what you're saying, though, Danny. Like other fans can't admit that our players are that good because it goes against the grain of the red cartel. Simple.
No matter what happens, we can't win because they say our players are carried by Pep, and then they say Pep is carried by our players, and then you say De Bruyne is only good because it's surrounded by the quality around him. You can't win. Either we have good players or we have no good players. But how can we win the league 4 times in a row if we haven't got any good players?
Exactly. I mean, it's the thing.
People just say things without thinking. We're winning the league so many times because we deserve to win the league, and other teams are bottling it, aka Arsenal.
Well, yeah, came in for half the year and he's done most assists. Exactly. Like the guy was breaking records even when he was injured most of the year. I said about it, like people don't respect him enough. And you know what? AK here. Comparing Erdegaard to him, I was like, "Oh, you fucking idiots!" I was like, "You idiots!" He's like, people don't understand, right?
Let's not hold anything against Erdegaard. He's obviously not as good as De Bruyne, but he's still a decent player. He just doesn't change games like De Bruyne can. He's a decent player, but he's not that player.
No, he isn't.
And there's a reason why Madrid let players go. It's because they're not good enough. And they obviously didn't see it in Erdegaard, and Arsenal got him, and it just happened to work out all right for him.
Yeah,
he is a good player, but he's not that next level type of player.
Yeah, I know. I just it's I just, I mean, in terms of like the start this year, though, I mean, I've really enjoyed how we're playing now. Like, it's definitely a lot different. It's the team we play on the first 3 games won't be the same team that's played going forward. There's going to be some changes at some point. I think Rodri obviously will come back in the team at some point. Foden will at some point come back in the team. It's going to be a different team at some point.
That's
But
the
I've
difficult
enjoyed
part. Like, how do these players come back into the team? Because we're
because
playing so well at the moment. Like, I think it was Stephen tweeted saying, "How does Foden get back into this team when we're playing so well?"
I could say something about that though. The way that tweet reaction was crazy. The fans, you can't say that before. Like, no, like this is the issue I'm having with player stance.
It's the person. It's a really good point to make. It's truthful. It's a good argument to make. It's not. It's nothing against players. It's nothing against Foden personally. It's just saying this is how good our team is right now. Why would you change that? Like, it's
exactly.
not doubting how good Foden is because he won Player of the Year last season. We all know how good he is. It's just you can't just throw him right back in when the team's playing as well as they are right now.
You can't. Like, Barry's always in the stream. So good to see you the first time, my friend, on Saturday. Final time in London, Stratford. Honestly, I've never been to Stratford before, and it's a really. It's not weird. It's just a massive place, like massive buildings. Like it's like it's like a separate city in London, Stratford. It's really built up now. I mean, it's like obviously going there myself. Like the actual campus of like the Olympic Park is massive. It feels like I'm sorry. Like, obviously, West Ham fans do what they can bit, but I wish Upton Park was still a thing. I wish I still Upton Park because it's not for me. It's not a football stadium. That ground.
Yeah, it's a shame what's happening with modern football. Like Everton leaving Goodison, Tottenham left White Hart Lane, West Ham left Upton Park, and they're just moving to these massive, lifeless stadiums. Like Wembley. Wembley's not the most impressive stadium, is it?
No, it's not. It's a big bowl.
It's just it's an event arena, isn't it? It's not just built for football. It's built for everything. And it's just
and Tottenham and Spurs ground. And Spurs ground is the exact same.
like the Madrid stadium as well. That's just looking lifeless as well. Like all of these updated stadium models just look the same.
It's all about securing the money, isn't it?
There's no personality.
No, and like what are the grounds now? Like obviously Emirates is the exact same situation. Villa Park's still pretty good. That's still a stadium. That's still got its history still. Was it? Portman Road's still good. Ipswich Town Stadium. That's still a classical stadium. King Power is a bit of a weird one for me. It's not terrible, but Leicester's ground's a bit. It's not the same. It's still quite a modernised ground. St Mary's ground is well. They used to be the Dell year before St Mary's anyway, and that was much more of a proper old school like ground where the fans did a pitch. That's more of a state. You're right. A lot of it now is like big up stadiums, isn't it? Like stadiums of massive, like arenas. It's not really a ground. It's not a ground, is it? Which was a real shame. But
no, they don't have any personality. They all just look the same. Like if you go to a stadium, you don't want to experience the same thing again. You want to have a different feeling at every ground.
Yeah. So, I tell you right, Gundogan came back on. The first time I actually watched Gundogan since returning to the club. He was great. He did a great cameo. Came on, led well, got the team pushing forward, and I've missed him. I have missed a good one in this team because Joe what reminds me of Gundogan. Now this can sound like a weird comparison, but you hear me out here. Gundogan is what Bellingham should for us like last season if it got him in instead of Madrid. Because when I watch Bellingham play for Madrid, the way he sort of box the fielder, goes forward, comes back, and that, and when Gundogan left, I always thought Bellingham would be an ideal person to come in to replace him. I'm not saying the exact same, by the way, but we're willing to that player that will grow it into that kind of level of player down the line. But when you've got good run back in there again, obviously he hasn't scored yet, but those runs he makes, they don't have that for a while. The player who runs into the box, try and get a tap in or there's a chance off. Like I love Bernardo Silva, but he isn't that kind of player. He doesn't play that gets in the box a lot of times. It's Gundogan does that role perfectionly, and I've missed that player that we can sort of rely on. You need a goal, bring him on, and it'll do a job for you. I think it's good to have a player like that back again, but I hope that what we do is that we utilise these midfielders right. Don't just pray anyone for the sake of it. Try with midfields going forward, use them at the right times. Don't just play the same midfield constantly. Try and think of a different way around it when you need to in certain games. I'm much looking forward to seeing a Rodri, Gundogan, and De Bruyne midfield at some point. The old school three of the treble team back again in that midfield, but also Foden as well. We have Gundogan. I thought just that kind of variety we've got, and I feel it's so good to have again.
I think we need to remember that Gundogan is getting on a bit. He's not going to play too many games this season, but he's important to the squad, not just on the pitch, but he's important in the dressing room as well. He's a captain.
Yeah.
The squad has their captain back, and he should be the captain now. But
yeah,
even without the armband, he'll be able to keep them all together, keep them going, and motivate them. He's definitely going to be a good manager someday, I think.
Oh, it's going to be absolutely, yeah. It's right, Aaron, mate. I know you were busy. It was a mad day Saturday, honestly. Mad day of tickets, that kind of stuff. I didn't get one in the end for Oasis, but I know Danny did. Lucky bastard. Do you know what? Knowing me, because under a year left, I probably want it from someone. There'll be a resale, I'm sure. People will just sell them on some point somewhere, and I'll get a chance probably.
Yeah, they're telling people to use Twickets, aren't they?
Yeah, look, it's what I said before. It's like I'm not really good. I'm more of that it's just a bit annoyed at how it was handled, but it was a mess. Ticketmaster, I'm sorry, they're a mess. It's not part of the podcast, but it needs to be said. Ticketing now is a shambles, anyway. But it's just this showing how bad it was. The way that prices were also handled and changed. What's going on? Why is it changing? Dynamic changing. It's so stupid. So stupid.
No, it shouldn't be legal. Dynamic pricing shouldn't exist. Once you put a ticket up for sale and people know how much they are and what they're queuing up for, that can't change.
No.
I mean, I got tickets for face value, but I really disagree with how it was all handled. It was one of the most disappointing experiences I've had getting tickets. They were so unprepared.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's what Harry's right. Yeah. It's what I mean. It's the fact that certain people missed out on it because of the way it was handled. And it's why I don't understand. Why did they even release tickets then that early? If I'm being real, right, what I should have done was, right, they should have planned out a lot quicker. I said, right, what we'll do, we'll give Ticketmaster a month to get shit together. And right, this is the position we've got to prepare for. Just get yourself prepared for it. Because the thing is, everyone knew that Oasis would sell out.
Yeah, it's the biggest tour for decades, isn't it? Everybody knew it was going to be high demand. Everybody was going to be trying for tickets. Even if they don't like Oasis, they were trying for tickets. You need to expect and prepare your website in the case for millions of people trying at the same time.
Yeah, honestly, the thing is to me, I didn't even bother after. I thought, I'm not going to bother going for him because I knew straight away it'd be a waste of time. I might have got lucky if I did, but I just thought I'm not going to waste my time. One, signal on the train is a fucking nightmare, and then even getting to London, how is it a nightmare? The 5G and 4G is terrible. I have no idea why. In modern day 5G, 4G isn't available, ready to go. Like, it's so ridiculous how terrible it is, and I have to rely on that. While it's Stratford, be a nightmare. So I thought, no, I'm not going to waste my time, trying to get tickets for something that I won't get anyway. I'm just going to just accept it, and hopefully down the line I'll get lucky. So that's what I'm going to do, and probably more like I'm actually get better luck then anyway. So it is what it is. But again, also the Champions League as well. I mean, Jesus Christ, the ticketing for that. I mean, like the price is going up. Like, do you know what? I'm going to as a Brentford game next week. I'm going to it, but I'm not going to stay because the hotels are ridiculously priced. Like 150 quid at minimum for a night at a hotel. I'm just going home. Like, I'm sorry,
Yeah,
but
it's not worth it. You end up spending over £200 just for one game, don't you?
like even a ticket on a train's ridiculous anyway. But the thing is, yes, I'm not local, but even so, it's still expensive anyway. It doesn't matter if you're local or not. If you support a certain team, right, and especially in the Premier League, it's bloody. Yeah, Harry, you are right. It's probably Saturday, but it's still a bloody nightmare. I mean, look, it is what it is. I'll find a way somehow to get a cheaper price for it. But it's just a real pain in the ass. What I find with money and on certain things nowadays. It's just like it's so expensive now, when it shouldn't be.
Yeah, that's the case for everything. Everything's getting expensive, but the cost of living is going up as well, and people don't have the money to pay for luxury things because they're too busy surviving. It shouldn't be that way.
No, it shouldn't be. Look, it's fine. It's what it is. I'll work it out. I'll work out a way to sort of do it and be okay. But it's one of the things that just annoys you, that about traveling, that kind of stuff, or any way you go to. Like, train prices are ridiculous anyway. Flights as well. And there's fucking hell, flights to anywhere. I mean, I'm gonna go to PSG away, in January. And I thought, right, I'll get the Eurostar to Paris because that'd be that easy. I can always get like a get to the stadium, be alright. But the thing is, like, getting to the Eurostadium is like 80 quid anyway, not even return. I'm like, 80 quid for a Euros. It's like, it's just crazy how much things cost. And look, I'm not saying it should be cheap as chips, no, but you can at least find a way of making it more affordable for people, that's in line. But again, what do I know? I'm not a businessman that wants to sell money, but it's just, there's a way of making money without screwing over the little person. That's what I was about it. There's always a way of making it more affordable. But I said before about City, I said to anyone before, like, if you don't think that the club are not going to up prices, then, like, it's sadly, I said to everyone before, when you get successful, in anything, and tourists goes up, it's going to happen. It's the sad reality of where we are now. Like, Newcastle will be the exact same when they're there. It'll be the exact same thing. Certain clubs get better and better with quality, and more of the tourist fans will want to go and watch that team play.
Yeah, as the success goes up, the demand goes up, and the prices go up. Once you're successful, you want to keep being successful. And fans just become customers at the end of the day, don't they?
Yeah, I mean, Harry, exactly. Harry actually spent most of the time, right, on that Saturday getting tickets to the hotel sorted out for all the European games. I'm like, it's crazy how much you got to plan and get that sorted before the prices come. It's crazy how that all you have to do that. But it's a shame because you shouldn't have to do that at all. You should be able to get a plane ticket booked advanced for a go to get there. But it's the way it is, Sally, isn't it? It's the way it is, Sally, now with like football now, all that jazz. So yeah, I know, but it's not. It's not obviously I'm moaning about it, but it's more the fact that I'm just like, it's a shame that fans are getting priced out of stuff now. People get priced out of stuff, but that's the way it is, Sally, now. In terms of life now, unfortunately.
Yeah, it is what it is. Like, you either pay the price that they want, or they'll just get someone else who will.
Exactly. Now, quick question for you: is this the best start that City made under Pep? Like, it's not those 3 games in, but like the best start you've seen from a Pep team.
From a footballing point of view, they are playing some good stuff. Possibly up there as one of the best starts. It's definitely not the worst. And we are looking good. Everybody looks fit. Everyone looks happy. It's the strongest start for a while. Usually we start a bit rocky, don't
we do actually. I mean, I'm surprised because obviously the last season we got was a draw. Wasn't it? We lost to Wolves and lost to Arsenal back to back after going unbeaten for that 6 games, wasn't it? So it's 6 wins in a row we got. So we've got Brentford coming up and Arsenal coming up. Obviously, we'll look at games this week. Obviously, we're obviously back for the league season. But what I've seen so far, I'm impressed with Rico. There's impressed with certain players in the squad, and the way we're playing a bit more going forward than we were last year. I mean, it's good to see. It's good to see Nunes come on the pitch and put a recap. I think if Nunes has a good season, he'll stay. I think more of that on Saturday.
He did look really good when he came on. I'll admit that. I've been critical of him in the past. He did do really well when he came on, and his assist for Haaland was really good.
Yeah,
that was De Bruyne-esque. That pass.
It was.
He did really well setting that up.
He has every chance though, but then again, I've got to ask again. McAtee, new contract. Really?
That's just boosting his price up. He's not going to feature that much this season.
People, I'm sorry to say this, right? If you're a McAtee fan, I'm not being horrible, but be realistic here. He ain't playing enough games this season.
No, if you look at our midfield options, he just doesn't have a chance.
He should have been sold. Sorry, he should have been sold. Look, his chance went 2 years ago when Pepper alone every night. The writing was on the wall there, but everyone held out hope. McAtee should have been getting game time 2 years ago, 3 years ago, not now.
And if you're going out on loan 2 seasons in a row, that tells you everything. You're not going to have a future. Just take the loss, move on. Like Calvin, it's never going to work.
Just sell Calvin on, sell Buddy McAtee, get money in for players.
It's not saying that they're bad players. They're just not the level that we need, and they're not going to get the games that they need. So it just suits both parties.
Yeah, it does. I mean, so like Rico for me is an example of a player that took his chance when he did. He took his chance, and he's been playing well. Obviously, last year wasn't much in limelight last year, but also towards the end he got more limelight again. Towards the end, this year Pep really thought, you know what, I trust you. I trust you this year, and he's been paid back with good performances and that. I agree here. I think Watford should be a Riley McAtee game. That's the right. You lads look. We should win, but I'm not bothered if we don't win anyway. I'm more the fact that just see if I can go in the League Cup really for a hard draw. If we get easy running, sure, why not go for it? But again, I'm not asked about it. Neither you really. It's a trophy, but
it shouldn't be the priority. I'll happily take it. I'll go to the games. I'll celebrate it if we win it. But it's not the priority. It's not the prize that you chase every season.
No, it used to be, but we've got past that point now. Like we're now more Champions League, Premier League. That's more of the,
It sounds arrogant, but there is a higher expectation of the team now. Like
bigger fish to fry.
If we went the entire season and we just won the League Cup, nobody would call that a success.
Which sounds crazy because it's a trophy, but it's true. It is true for our standards now.
Exactly. Like we should be challenging for the Premier League, Champions League. The FA Cup is something you take when you've won everything else, isn't it? If it's the only thing you've won in a season, for a club of our quality of United, Liverpool, if that's all you win in a season, it's not a successful season.
No. Right. So Jack's asked about the Watford game. Now, as far as I'm aware, the only time that game played, I think, would be after the Arsenal game, because obviously we've got just everyone's clear. We've got Brentford on next Saturday, Inter Milan on the Wednesday at home, and Arsenal at home on the Sunday. So we've got four back-to-back games at home. So Brentford, Inter, Arsenal, Watford.
Yeah, it's got to. You've got to fit it in between Arsenal and Newcastle.
Yeah, that's the only where I'd say you can fit that one in. And then obviously Newcastle won that game, and after that it's Bratislava away and Fulham at home. So at least there's a few games that we actually rest players at that point as well. So we've got a bit of a difficult few games there, but Inter and Arsenal tough games, but we should be alright both games anyway. But Jack, you are correct though. People have no idea how many games we've got to play coming up. There's quite a few games coming up to play, and this is why it's good to have a whole squad. And as I said before, if McAtee does it game time, I want him to do well. I want him to do well 100%.
Absolutely.
But it doesn't mean you can't say that he isn't good enough for overall start games week in, week out. He isn't because he hasn't.
McAtee will never get a start in the Premier League. Pep would rather play players out of position, wouldn't he?
Well, to me,
like he did with Phillips, he'd rather play Stones in midfield over Phillips.
Exactly. Like for me, right, Nunes to me, I think will have more games to play this year. I think he against West Ham, he saw reaction, he was pleased with him. He'll get some starts at some point in the future. Not now, in more subs, but if he keeps doing what he's doing, they have a chance of playing against obviously Brentford, maybe Fulham, Bratislava. He'll play some games, definitely. I think he's good enough for a squad. If he just focus on what he's good at, he'll be a great squad player, which is a great player. Just again, I'm happy. Look, you and me were said before, right, about doing this. I trust him that he's a good enough player to do something. It's that he obviously last year wasn't great, but it was his first season. This year he's got to step up and read himself. West Ham he did very well, but he's keep doing it constantly every game now. And if he's playing, give it your all. And Ryan says
definitely. Exactly. When you get your chance, take it. Do something with it. Don't just turn up. Just expect things. And perform well. If you come on as a sub and play well, you've got a chance of playing in the next game. If you train well, you've got more chance to play at all.
Yeah, exactly.
Just keep giving it your best. That's all Pep wants. He just wants you to prove yourself.
Yeah. Look, don't be wrong, right? It's a tough few games coming up, but I think the aim should be to get out of those games, I think, either with all wins or at least stay unbeaten. That should be the ultimate aim of this. I think we can remain unbeaten competitions going into the next October break. I'm happy with that. Because I think we can't afford to drop points really now, but like Newcastle away is a big one, but we should be going to obviously get a win there. That should be the ultimate aim. Arsenal at home, you're at home this time. Take chances and get the win. That should be the aim. Inter at home. Inter are not as good as they used to be. It's still a good team, but we should beat them at home. It's all about just get the momentum going. This team. I have a feeling we'll see some changes at Brentford, probably into Milan. I reckon.
Yeah, changes are inevitable. Pep doesn't really go multiple games without changing the lineup, does he? He's always rotating. And speaking of which, I think Ake needs a chance again soon because he's not featured much this season.
Well, I've checked the running, the running. So we've got a tough September, quite a tough one. October's quite quiet, after the break. We've got Wolves away, Sparta Prague at home, Southampton at home, North away, Sporting away, Brighton away. It's fairly quite balanced out. I'd say it's pretty good overall draw for us. That, but when we get back in November, Tottenham at home, Feyenoord at home, Liverpool away, Liverpool fucking away. Oh god, the last curse to beat with fans. If you beat Liverpool with fans, I'm done at that point because that's the only thing. I think so. We won there 4-1. No, we did. There was no fans in the ground. Beat the fucking Anfield crowd, man. Just do it. It's not hard. I don't understand why we do it every year. It's not a hard thing to get over. Just don't let it affect you. I just don't understand why we have an issue going that ground.
It's just Anfield, isn't it? It's got a sort of mental hold on people. They expect it to be harder than it actually is, and then that makes them suffer a bit on the pitch.
See, I think the aim, if we can get to Brighton away, the line before the third break, unbeaten, in a good spot, damn happy at that. Because Tottenham followed Liverpool the first 3 games back. Then you got Forest, Palace, Juve, and Man United in the same week. Oh, Juve away and Man United at home, same week. That's good. It's gonna be a rough December. Say that. Merry Christmas.
That's the same week I'm seeing Paul McCartney as well. That's going to be a good week.
Mad Christmas dash. Oh.
No, but I do agree. Every home game, you should be hoping to win. If you turn your home stadium into a fortress, you've got a good foundation to put the season on.
Oh, call it, mate. Jesus, mate, it's a me right now, mate. I'm not even worried about them yet. I'm more about playing Brentford first, mate. That's the next game, mate. Look, it's good to look ahead, but right now, our next game is Brentford. That's next game. That's reality. Like, if you're looking ahead to by August right now, like November, sorry. I'm losing track with mine right now, man. Honestly, it's supposed September now, isn't it? If you're looking ahead already, then you're doing it wrong. It should always be next game is the priority. Get your 3 points against Brentford. That's 12 out of 12. You go ahead to the next game. That's the priority right now. But I do agree. Like Derby Day, we should clean up both games easily.
Yeah, can't assume anything in a derby. I think I said that before the FA Cup final. Anything can happen.
To be fair, I did say that it'll be a tough game though. I said they've got Europe to win it. I said that'd be a tough game, and no one believed me, but whatever.
Yeah, when teams play that defensively against us, that's when we suffer. Like, if we can't break a team down and they catch us on the counter attack.
Do you know what? We'll end the stream with a good Haaland chat and a little chat about Haaland before we end the stream. I tell you, right. Ryan's perfectly about it in the interview. He's getting a lot more mature, isn't he? In the way he's speaking on camera now. Like he used to be really just. I'm nervous and just very blunt. I used to love Haaland's interviews.
Definitely blunt, but in a funny way.
But now he's just very chatty, open. It's good to see it. I feel that he's
looking happier. He's obviously getting media training from City, like all players do. But he does look comfortable. He looks happy. Everything about Haaland at the moment just looks comfortable.
7 goals in 3 games, 8 hat tricks in 69 games. Same hat tricks already in 69 games, man. How is that even possible? How?
Yeah.
How is he doing that?
He's not far behind Aguero's hat trick record. He's already beaten Rooney.
He could beat it this year, actually. That's it's going.
He's the best, well, arguably the best goal scorer in the world.
I think he's best in the world.
If he carries on as he is now, he'll easily beat all the records. Easily.
There's one record on to beat though. That's the 91 goal record that Messi holds in a year. If you can beat that in a year, mate, 92, mate, imagine that. You beat Messi's record.
When I say all the records, I mean everyone but that record. Because that's just undoable.
It's not though, is it?
It's not. Absolutely no idea how Messi got it. And nobody's going to do it.
Because Messi's a freak of nature. That's what Messi is.
Well, so's Haaland, but he's not going to do that.
My favourite goal of the game was his second goal. The way he hits that snapshot, just bang. I thought that wasn't there last season. Last season, he's taking a touch, trying to find a better way, and it had been blocked. This year, he's like, right, bang. Because I said before, start having a shot more. Just go for it. Like you're a striker. Pep's not going to have a go at you. You're not shooting. You're the striker. That's your job. You're meant to be putting the ball back in the net. Like the players around him clearly trust him enough to do it anyway. Like the way the passing from the way Jack got the ball and ran through it, through the defence, obviously, found Kovacic, found Rico, found Haaland. The way they played that football, I was like, that will get better and better this season. And if Haaland can start doing that more and more each game, snapshot, he'll start banging even more goals than the first 2 years before.
Yeah, it was a perfect goal. Everything about it. And just to mention, Jack had a really good game as well.
Oh, brilliant! He was,
and he deserves to play in the next game as well. Like, everybody's up in arms about him being in the England squad. That's why. Because he is a good player, and everybody needs to give him credit for it.
Look, I know Alex will say that you're unfair on Jack. The thing I know you how well Jack, right? We want him to do well. We've always wanted Jack to do good. Well, I think Jack's a quality player. He's brilliant. Like that Grealish on Saturday was the Jack I saw at Villa. The way he was running forward. So I thought, do that more. Don't just keep on the wing and cut inside it. Just go for it. Like we know how good you are, like strength-wise. You're actually quite physically good as well for a player of his stature. Just keep doing that. Like try to find ways of creating chances, of creating a bit of a chance for Haaland and that. Because I tell you,
definitely,
also,
it's what I was trying to say. Like he doesn't necessarily get the goals and assists, but he makes the chances happen. Like that second goal doesn't happen at all if Grealish doesn't carry the ball forward.
Exactly. And I was saying
he's not getting the assist for it, but he's made it all happen. And football's more than goals and assists. It's not just that. It's about performances. It's about ability. It's about consistency. And Jack's usually consistent. He doesn't get the goals and assists, but he does play well every game.
I'm really pleased for him. I'm really because especially have it one forward back, Savio, Bob, Doku, and Grealish. Brilliant wingers to have. I said before, that's a good Arsenal wingers you can rotate with and change up when you every now and again. But obviously, Bob's injured was a real shame about Bob. I'm so glad that Bob's injured, by the way. I'm so glad he's injured because there's such a good start to the season as well. We've been really firing as well.
Bob would have started all of these games.
I would have done
if he was fit. Because he deserves to, because he was awesome in pre-season.
Yeah, and look, I mean, before we end, there's one player we tend to talk about. No, there's not a bad talk. It's more of a discussion to sort of see where it can go from here. But it's Doku. Now, I think everyone can kind of see it now with Doku. Like, it's not the fact that he's a terrible player. By the way, he's not terrible at all. It's just that he has unbelievable pace, electrical pace that he can use and destroy fullbacks with, but it's the final pass shot which doesn't quite do it. And I said before about that, like he has all the ability to do that. As I thought, if he can get his final pass shot right, he probably be the best winger there, purely because of how good he is at that. But you can't harm it if you're a fan of him. He doesn't have that, final touch or pass that can do it. He's done it before. Like, was it United in the final? Came on, was brilliant in that final.
He completely changed the game in that final. He was the only player worth giving any credit to. But it's just consistency with Doku.
Yeah, I wasn't going to final. He's the only player that actually applauded. Applauded everyone else. I thought he was the only player that gave a shit. And I thought, you know what? To you, mate, you're better than that. So yeah, but I just, it's just I just think Doku for me, right? I'm not look. It's not over. He can definitely be better this season. But I said like, we've got to discuss it and said the fact that he has a lot to learn still. He's still young, a lot to learn still. He's getting better. He's getting better as a player under Pep. But he's got to start learning when to pass, when to shoot, when to hold, when to whether he does that more. It'll be a starter on this team consistently, week in, week out. But he's got to learn.
The only thing with that is, how long do you use the "he's still young" excuse?
It's a good point.
Because Walcott got to about 33 and we were still saying he's got time. Lingard, Rashford, we've given so many players these excuses that they're still young. But how can you get to 22 and not know how to cross or shoot as a winger?
Look at Savio. He's younger than Doku. And
this is what I mean. Like, Savio's younger, he's better on the ball, he's better at decision making, he's more confident, he knows what he's doing. Doku tries the same thing every game, and the end product just isn't there.
Yeah,
like,
I know.
He's clearly talented. He's a great dribbler. He's one of the best dribblers you'll see. But at the end of a run, if you don't do anything with it, what's the point? If you're not getting the ball to another City player, or you're running the ball out of play because you kicked it too far, what's the point?
Yeah, like I agree with Nick here. I would Jack and Savio as wingers personally for me, but I just want to with Doku, it's not over. It's not. I'm not saying we should sell him. I'm saying that we've got to see more from him.
No, it's far from over, but he's just a frustrating player. Like, we all knew how frustrating Sterling was on his day.
Yeah.
And Doku is the spitting image of Sterling.
Yeah, apart from the misses, we'll give him that. We'll give him that.
No,
but
Doku doesn't put himself in the position to miss misses.
That's a good point. Yeah, it's a good point. Yeah. Look, listen.
Sterling was always in the right place, but he just cocked it up every time.
Yeah. Well, look,
but Sterling was awesome for a long time at City, which is forgotten.
Better final touch.
He was also frustrating for the last 3 years of his City career.
He was.
And that's the same level that Doku is at right now. But Doku has time on his side, but we can't just keep giving him the excuse that he's got time.
Yeah. I mean, Jackson here. Rodri getting rested was brilliant. No games for free, and not playing Spain either. He's just in the greatest spot. Brentford, I'll bring him back. Because you can't play him against Arsenal first game. That is not going to work. I'm not saying you can't do it, but you need to give him a bit of game time with Brentford to get him up to speed. Because you can't just go and say, right, Arsenal, here you go, push him into the deep end. Like, Brentford, Inter Milan, these big games that he plays, he starts in. He gets that game time ready to go. And then obviously bring him off, we'll win the game early on, bring on other players, and then Arsenal play the whole game. That's how it should be. Because we can't just look. I'm pleased that Pep gave him a rest in 3 games, and it obviously worked out for us in the long run. But I think from now on, we got to see him play. I'm not saying that Costa Rica don't deserve game time. They do. But Rodri is so important to our team in certain games. I think this is the kind of this is where you got to start seeing him come back in the team again. But I'm interested to see how it changes down his team.
I wouldn't start him against Brentford. I'd bring him on in the second half. I don't think anyone in midfield deserves to be dropped yet. And
good point.
I don't think Brentford's midfield is anything to worry about to the point where we need Rodri.
It's the attack, if anything. It's the attack I'm worried about.
Yeah.
But
whilst we're on that, I think Guardiola hasn't actually been as good as he was last season.
No, but
I think
it's not a bad
he's
thing.
had a bit. He's not played badly. He's just a bit more ineffective. And I'd like to see Ake against Brentford.
I think with Josko, he's much better when he's given that license to go forward more. Because when he does that, he's fucking great at that, by the way. I'm sorry. He is brilliant.
And when we're playing Lewis in midfield, we're playing as more of a back three, aren't we? It's the Kanji Diaz, Guardiola, and Lewis has the freedom to go forward. But I think we're seeing why Guardiola isn't trusted at centre half. That's why he's being played at left back.
Yeah, I know. But look, as I said before, it will change. I think at some point we'll start seeing a change again. I'm very intrigued to see how Brentford goes. You know, see whether it's the same team again or obviously changes. Obviously injuries, obviously get touch wood. Hopefully everyone's fine coming back from the international break. But yeah, I just think for me, look, obviously Brentford what obviously preview week after the games are played, we've got a bit more idea of who's back, obviously who's fit in that game. But so far so good. I'm pleased with what I've seen so far. I'm pleased obviously that we got through is out of 3, but so far it's a long road, it's a long season ahead of us.
Yeah, it's the perfect start. 3 wins out of 3, but still got 35 games to go. Multiple international breaks. Champions League is longer. Anything can happen.
After that, yeah, long season, people, long season, and also a long group stage. Like the group stage doesn't end until January. January, what is this? January.
I like this new format though. On paper,
It's different.
It could turn out to be really fun to watch. It could be more competitive, and I'm looking forward to that. The prices are a bit steep, but if the football is good, it's worth it.
Yeah, exactly. I think it's it's just what I mean. Yeah, mate, but exactly. I'm just playing. I'm playing games now for the this week. Just play video games after work. Just forget about football.
I'd just scrap international breaks completely. We don't need it. Nobody likes them.
Yeah, ban them, honestly. But yeah, I think that's it for today. Yeah, we've covered the game pretty much. Obviously, giving everyone a bit of prop. It's good to see it. Obviously, I was playing really well, but I think the chat knows, and you, me, both, and obviously Alex knows as well, that this season's a long season ahead of us. A long season ahead of us. Plenty of twists and turns to come, especially in certain games. Some performances definitely to look at as well. But so far, so good. Bring on Brentford next week. Actually, I bring on next week. Actually, I bring on next week. I'm done this week already because England doesn't really care about it at all. But bring on some football again, some league football, and also bring on the Champions League as well. The new format. Inter, Juventus, and all that. A lot of games to look forward to, but it's gonna be very interesting to see what Pep goes with, going forward. Honestly, because I said before, next game is when it starts. The season really kicks into gear. So
we've started well. We're playing well. Hopefully, we keep going that way and just keep improving. And that's all we can ask for.
Absolutely. Because everyone in the chat for watching the stream today, over an hour and a quarter done on today on a Tuesday. Not much to talk about apart from that. Obviously, transfers obviously got quite quiet, obviously on the Friday, but it's what it is. I'm pleased with the squad overall. Good players come in, good depth overall, and obviously positions and that. I'm pleased, obviously, with what we've done. Bring on next Saturday quickly. I think we're done with it already, and yeah, it started, people. It's now here. City are finally here. 3 games in, long ahead of us. A lot to look forward to. A lot to think about. But bring it on, everyone. Well, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Obviously with Briggsy and with Tone. I'll see me, Danny, and obviously Alex back next Tuesday for the next podcast. See you next week.